Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Ferullo5 and today I'll be doing a complete guide on the Crafting Dead mod up to version 1.9.6. I encourage new and old players to watch this video because you will most likely learn something new. Now there's a lot to cover, so let's get started with the menus and GUI in this mod. There are key bindings in this mod for firing your weapon and aiming down sights, which you can configure here in the Crafting Dead options menu. Simply click on the binding you would like to change, then click the mouse button you would like to assign it to. Now be sure to click Save Bindings, then go back into the game. Next, when in the game, you will notice the Crafting Dead HUD menu in the top right corner. In this mod, there are 3 new systems added into the game: the Thirst system, the Blood system, and the Humanity system. The Thirst system acts as a hunger system, so you will need to maintain your thirst just as you would with your hunger. You can quench your thirst by drinking the many new liquid items added into the game. Next, the new Blood system is very important to understand because your blood levels can easily be the death of you. When playing this mod, you have a chance of bleeding from being shot or hit. You begin to bleed, you have a chance of losing lots of blood at a time or a much lower amount of blood at a time, depending on how serious the wound is. Finally, the new Humanity system added to this game is determined by how many zombie kills you have and how many player kills you have. When killing zombies, your Humanity will go up. However, when killing players, your Humanity will go down. Your Humanity will determine whether you are seen as a bandit or hero in this game. Also, in the Crafting Dead mod, there is a new inventory GUI that can be accessed by pressing G on your keyboard. When opening the menu, you will see the new gun slot, backpack slot, and tactical vest slot. And to the right of that, you can see the crafting GUI for weapon attachments on your gun. From top to bottom, it goes upper receiver attachment, to underbarrel attachment, to barrel extension attachment. When placing a gun into the gun slot, it will equip the gun to the back of your character and allow you to use the quick access key, which is C on your keyboard, to quickly take off the gun from your back and into your hands. And also, when you place a backpack or tactical vest into its corresponding slot, it will also place a 3D model on your character and allow you to access what it contains by pressing the open button. Loot is where you can acquire all of your gear in order to survive the zombie apocalypse. This is what it looks like in game. When right-clicking on the loot, it will generate an item based on the loot's rarity. So basically, there are different rarities of loot. They are in order from common to rare to very rare and then extremely rare. There are also special kinds of loot that only contain specific loot corresponding to their names. There is military loot and medical loot that only spawn specifically military and medical loot. Finally, to conclude loot, in order for loot to respawn, it has to be at least a few blocks away from you, so you cannot camp the same block of loot without being a decent amount of blocks away. In this mod, there are tons of new consumables added into the game. There are many options for you to feed your hunger and quench your thirst. To start up the consumables, there are many canned foods that can only be opened with a can opener. Also, there are other consumables like the protein and candy bars, the box of cereal, the bag of rice, and the meal ready to eat, which is the MRE. This can only be found in military loot. Also, there are new fruits added into the game with their rotten variants. The MRE is currently the best consumable in the game because it restores your hunger the most. Also, some foods will restore your thirst as well as your hunger. For example, consuming the fruits in the game, like the apples, oranges, pears, canned peaches, will restore your thirst as well. Now, to start off with all the new drinks added into the game, there are many different cans and bottles of soda, but they all simply do the same thing of restoring your thirst. For example, there are iced tea cans, energy drinks, bottles of water, and juice pouches. Also, something to understand is when you drink something that is full, it will simply turn into an empty can or bottle as you see next to the corresponding drink. Furthermore, there is only one liquid container in the game at the moment, and that is the water canteen that can be seen in the bottom right corner. You can simply refill this container by right-clicking on a water source block. This item is extremely necessary for surviving the zombie apocalypse. In the Crafting Dead mod, there are backpacks. Yes, backpacks and tactical vests that you can wear to add extra carrying space for all of your loot. There are multiple colors for all of the 3 sizes of backpacks. Starting off with the backpacks, the small backpack has a much smaller 3D model than the rest of the backpacks, and only holds 1 row of inventory space. With the medium-sized backpacks, as you can see above, there are 2 rows of inventory space available for storage. And finally, with the large backpacks, there are 3 rows of inventory space, allowing maximum storage. For the tactical vests, they come in the same 3 colors corresponding to the large backpacks and have only 2 rows of inventory space, like the medium-sized backpack. Tactical vests also have 3D models for your character and are currently, at the moment, do not offer any protection, just for storage. Now in the Crafty Dead mod, other than the chance of bleeding, there is a chance of breaking your legs when falling from a high point. When breaking your legs, you will gain the effects of slowness, and your vision will be affected drastically because of the pain of your broken leg. Now for the medical items, to stop yourself from bleeding, you can use the bandages or clean rags. If you have a dirty rag, you cannot use it to stop yourself from bleeding, but you can easily turn it into a clean rag by right-clicking with it in your hand at a water source block. You can fix your broken legs with morphine or a makeshift splint. They both do the same exact thing, except for a makeshift splint can be crafted. The crafting recipe for a makeshift splint can be seen now. It requires clean rags and wooden sticks that are generally easy to find in loot. Also, there are med kits that you can find that will restore your hunger, thirst, blood, and stop you from bleeding. However, it will not restore them completely. The med kits are one of the best medical items in the game. Finally, to complete everything in the medical items, you can also restore your blood levels with a blood bag. To fill an empty blood bag, you can simply right-click on another player to take their blood. Moving on to the next topic of weapons. In the mod, there are tons to choose from to survive the zombie apocalypse. For melee weapons, we have the crowbar, baseball bat with nail, rusty pipe, golf club, nightstick, old shovel, broken chainsaw, sledgehammer, bowie knife, samurai sword, hatchet, and the fireman's axe. All weapons deal damage to zombies and players and are extremely essential for surviving the zombie apocalypse. Save your bullets and use a melee weapon when you can. Speaking of bullets, there are tons of guns in this mod that you can acquire while playing. For assault rifles, we have the M4A1, the SCAR, and the AK-47. For submachine guns, we have the MP5K. For pistols, or secondaries, we have the M1911 and the M9, and the 44 Magnum. And finally, for the sniper rifles, we have the DMR and the M1 Grand. There are only two weapons at the moment that share the same magazine, and they are the M4A1 and the SCAR assault rifles. They both take the Stenag style magazines, which include the 30-round magazines, 40-round magazines, and the 75-round drum magazine. Every other gun take their corresponding magazines. For weapon customization, we have a large amount of attachments to choose from. We have the choice of a holographic sight, ACOG sight, or a 6x magnification scope for our optics. For our underbarrel attachments, we have the choice of a standard vertical grip, or an angled grip, a bipod, or a tactical laser. And for our barrel extension attachment, we have the choice of whether we want a suppressor or not. I will explain what some of the attachments do or change when you equip them to your gun. First off, the grip, angled grip, and bipod all lower your vertical recoil of your gun, making it much easier to control. However, the angled grip reduces more than the regular grip, and then the bipod reduces more than the angled grip, making the bipod the underbarrel attachment that lowers the most recoil. The tactical laser, when attached to your gun, will make firing from the hip much more accurate by decreasing the radius of your crosshairs. And finally, the suppressor will suppress your weapon, concealing yourself from zombies and other players. Also, an awesome way to customize your weapon and make it more unique is by spray painting it. In the mod, spray paint is used for changing the color of your weapon and adding your personal touch to it, besides of all the awesome choices for attachments. Also in the Crafted Dead mod, there are handcuffs. Yes, handcuffs that you can use to restrain other players. Currently, at the latest build of the Crafted Dead, handcuffs are used simply by right-clicking on another player to restrain them. Also at the moment, there's only one way to unrestrain a player in handcuffs, and that is handcuff keys. Another thing added into the mod is random supply drop locations that can be set on servers. At these set supply drop locations, there's a chance of a crate-like model appearing from the sky and dropping. They have a ton of military gear inside, and a player can get completely geared up when encountering a supply drop. However, be careful because these locations are broadcasted throughout the server before they drop, so be quick and arrive before all the loot is gone. Also in the mod, there are barbed wire kits that allow players to board up and secure location by placing barbed wire. Barbed wire acts very similarly to spiderwebs in Minecraft, not allowing players to quickly get out of them but also dealing a deadly amount of damage. However, barbed wire can be cut by wire cutters. A barbed wire kit will allow you to place 3 blocks of barbed wire, and a wire cutters will allow you to cut about 10 blocks of barbed wire. Another awesome feature the Crafting Dead has to offer is the GPS. All you have to do is have the GPS in your inventory for it to work. However, it cannot be in your backpack or tactical vest. When equipped, the GPS will open a HUD menu in the bottom right corner of your screen, and that will show you which direction you are traveling and the coordinates you are at in-game. Lastly, in the Crafting Dead mod, there are a ton of new armors added into the game. When your humanity reaches 700, you will be given the hero armor, which is currently the best armor in-game. And when your humanity reaches negative 700, you will be given the bandit armor. However, there are also many other armors you can find in clothing packages. They are ghillie, soldier, and spec ops clothing. Here is what they look like on your character. And this is the end of the complete overview of the Crafting Dead up to version 1.9.6. I hope that you learned something today. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and smash that like button because it did take a long time to cover and edit everything. Subscribe for more Crafting Dead news and updates from Ferullo 14 and become a part of the Ferullo Nation. See you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something or found this helpful.